Good evening. This is Anwar Williams, Mr. 313 Real Estate. And on this video, I just want to talk about why wholesaling. Like, why did I personally take it upon myself to make it a journey? And I would say it started off for me just getting mentored. I was going through the JMA Academy. Jay Morrison was my real estate mentor. I was learning a lot of things like ARV and LTV and, purchase ratios. And I just wanted to kind of broaden my horizons and level up, in a sense, have more financial independence. So I was thinking more like, man, I want to, build houses from the ground up. And I want to be a big real estate developer. And I want to, flip houses like I saw on TV. And, I want to buy a whole bunch of houses and rent them out. And once I start learning more about the real estate market and how deals are structured and what is a good investment and what's not, and all the different nuances of real estate, I started to learn that wholesaling is an introductory way to get into the business. Okay, because you're basically making it an enterprise. You're making it a corporation. Okay, the actual real estate investing. And I had never thought of it that way. Always thought of something that I myself was going to be doing, and that was going to be the end of it. And I started to realize it's much more deeper and complex than that. And not deeper as far as difficult, but there was just a lot more to be learned than I had ever anticipated. Okay, so yes, true. I do have, designs of doing real estate development and, doing these big, real estate development deals and, building, a community center or apartment building or restaurant or grocery store from the ground up, developing land, fix and flip, large commercial projects. Those are all plans that I have, but you have to understand the market. You have to understand, the value of location. You have to understand deals. You have to understand how to get funded. You have to establish relationships with people. Because unless you're just already have millions of dollars yourself, you're going to need other people to help to invest along with you. You're going to need people who has access to funding. You got to learn how to get funding on certain projects, and you have to understand the structure and deals. And wholesaling is the best way to learn how to do that. So if you have big plans of doing bigger things in real estate or even in business, wholesaling is a way to, it's kind of like a training. It's kind of like basic training like they have in the military, because you just go through all of these rigors, because you have to have a system with wholesaling. You have to be consistent. You have to have fortitude. It takes mental grind. It takes physical grind. You have to have a certain type of sales skill set, personal skills. You have to learn temperament. You got to learn how to talk to people, building a team, eventually structuring deals, negotiating with the seller, going out prospecting sellers, prospecting buyers, establishing a buyers list, gaining trust with buyers so they want to deal with you. And so when they want it ready to buy a deal, you're going to be the go-to guy that they're looking for to invest in real estate. So all of these are tools, physical, mental, emotional tools that you need. So it's not just physical intelligence, it's emotional intelligence as well. And then you have your basic intellect that's needed, actually gaining the knowledge and then putting it, having that wisdom and putting it into action. All those things are necessary in wholesaling. And along with that is having a system, because you have to be able to market, Maybe you're marketing to certain zip codes. Maybe you have certain lists. Maybe you're doing driving for dollars, bandit signs, direct mail. You're going to start learning about all the different systems and tools that you can use to maximize your equity in whatever information that you have. However, you get access to the information, whether you're driving for dollars, you get inbound calls through bandit signs, you're doing direct mail campaigns, you're doing voiceless. I mean, you're doing voice ring. I mean, you're doing the ringless voicemail. I'm sorry about that. You're doing cold calls, door knocking, whatever the case may be. How do you get the maximum out of that? It takes some type of system. Okay, whether you're doing it by zip codes, by counties, by size of towns, okay, by what the certain buyers you have on your buyer list, what they're looking for, by sizes of houses, price points. Then you got to start thinking about cost per lead. How much money is it costing you to actually get a deal done? You know, your operational costs. How much is it costing you to, you know, do your bandit signs or whatever marketing tools you're using? Okay. And how to actually structure the deal, how to get the spread to work to where your seller is satisfied with what they're getting, you're getting your fee, and then the buyer, they're getting what they want out of that investment, whether it's equity, whether it's the value of the house. How do you get all those three things to fit? It all takes knowledge and information, and all these things you can take it into other businesses. That's why most people who are very, very successful at wholesaling, they're usually successful at other businesses because it forces you to be a real CEO. It forces you to be organized. It forces you to have a system. It forces you to be consistent. It forces you to learn how to negotiate and be able to network and talk to people. So it's like wholesaling it's like the ultimate proving ground for whatever you want to do. Now, you may want to just wholesale for the long haul. That's what you're going to do for the next 10, 15, 20 years, and that's great. But maybe you're using wholesale as a segue into something that you really want to do. Maybe you want to get into fashion. Maybe you want to open your own bar and pub. Maybe you want to open up your own dry cleaners. Maybe you want to open a transportation business. Maybe you want to elevate from wholesaling to buy, fix and flip. Then when you go from fix and flip, you want to do buy and hold. Then you want to do real estate development. All these things you learn through wholesaling, it's like you're going to take all those things. So it's all the same thing. So for people that's new and they don't understand it, don't look at wholesaling as just some niche crazy thing that, you know, only certain people can do. It's all wholesaling at the end of the day. In a sense, you know, whether it's fix and flip, whether it's development, you're still using these same tools in wholesaling. And the only reason I recommend doing wholesaling first, because you don't lose a lot of money while you're learning. It's like you can fail forward. That's the great thing about it. It's not like, okay, I'm just going to jump to being a big time real estate developer. Now you're dealing with maybe $500,000, $2 million project. You have no experience in real estate, but yet you're trying to pull this off. So what if you fail? Now it's like it's a $3.5 million, you know, a 6-figure loss. But in real estate, you're dealing with maybe hundreds of dollars campaigning, maybe not even $20, $50. I mean, if you just got a car and a tank of gas, you can do driving for dollars and you can find a deal. I mean, it happens. Okay, it doesn't take a lot of money, but you learn. You learn about title work, you learn about structuring deals, talking to people, you're learning about real estate, you're learning about ARV, purchase ratio, equity. You're learning about all these things, and you're gonna have to take it into any other aspect of real estate anyway. So don't just poo-poo wholesaling like, oh, I can just forego that. You're better off doing wholesaling first. Just get in there. You learn it. It's all real estate. It's the same. So when you're ready to do other things, you'll already have an understanding and you'll be even better at it once you get into those ventures.